You wanna be at the top? Inshallah. Are we the cream of the crop? Inshallah. You gotta rock till you drop. Inshallah. Cause believers never stop. Yeah. MashaAllah. Come on.
Assalamu alaikum. This is your boy Naeem Muhammad for Deen TV. Always on, always live. We're here at the ICNA convention in my home city of Baltimore, and the bazaar, meeting some of the people who are working within the community, doing some great things, and we like to have them on Deen TV, like our friend here, Jeremy. Assalamu alaikum, Jeremy. How's it?
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Of course, this is great.
Awesome. So you're here at the convention, and like I said, I was reading your bio a little earlier. So you're a comedian. You're performing tonight, right?
I am performing tonight, 9:30 tonight at ICNA. Yep.
Awesome. So how did you get involved? How did you get involved in comedy, and how long have you been doing this?
So I was a very intense person all the time, and I was the kind of person who you didn't want to talk to because I would honestly go like really intense, really fast, right?
Okay.
Start arguments all the time, and but I had friends who were comedians who recommended that I just try it out. I was helping them write jokes.
Okay.
And so they recommended I do it, and so then I started doing it, and then that was about 4 years ago. I did my first open mic.
So 4 years ago, your first open mic.
Yep.
I mean, I can't
I'm
even.
up there 5 minutes. I do terrible, right? Just like.
Okay. And where was it? Was it a nice
audience?
A generous audience?
It was a bar in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Is that where you? Is that where
that
you?
is where I'm from. Yep. It's where I'm from. Born and raised. It's where I live now with my wife. Yep.
All right. Nice. So how long? So where are the normal places that people would be able to see you if they wanted to? Is it like conferences like this, or what type of events
yeah,
you were doing?
Yeah, comedy clubs like around New York City, like just anywhere I'll go. Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of stuff do you like cover in your work?
Politics, religion, culture, race, just anything like really hot button. Okay. That's what I love.
Okay, awesome.
That's what I love talking about.
And are there any like contemporaries that we could like that you hang out with, names that we might know, or friends, or are you in kind of groups?
I don't know. I mean, like I'm pretty much just by myself. I'm like traveling around doing my own thing.
Awesome.
But I performed with TJ Miller and Todd Barry and Tig Notaro.
Okay.
And those are some names that I've performed with. But
we've gotten a chance to travel with I don't know, your comedian Ahmed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
These guys like
Absolutely,
them, like Preacher Moss.
I've done some stuff with Preacher Moss.
Yeah. I just saw. It was funny. We were I was just in Minnesota just yesterday, and he's actually doing a set there tonight, and
nice.
And it's kind of funny. He was like, he didn't even know who he was performing for.
Oh, really?
He's just
funny.
he just in the city.
Just started
doing,
going. Yeah, that's great.
He's just in the city. So, any interesting stories on things that happen to you when you're out on tour or when you're doing these type of events?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just I don't know. Like, it's just so. It's like I have fans from like all over the world, and like I have fans who have family back in like Pakistan who talk to me and like take selfies so they can send them to their friends in Pakistan or whatever. And so I love just the whole international atmosphere about that, and just being able to do comedy that appeals to as many people as possible.
So that's a good question. So having a kind of international fan base, like how does that translate? I mean, what type of stuff are you talking about that translates
just
well?
Any sort of political hot button topic, whether it's stuff happening like no matter where in the world like that's happening, like I want to talk about it and just reach as many people as possible and talk about as many things as possible.
So does our current president give you like a lot of material to work with that we'll hear?
He does,
tonight,
but I actually try to shy away from, because everybody's doing Trump material.
Right.
Everyone's trashing Trump, and all the jokes kind of sort of blend together. So I like trying to come at stuff from a different angle and talk about news stories that no one's talking about.
Okay. I mean, we have like a lot of young people who watch Deen TV, and oftentimes we like to give them kind of an idea of if someone who was going to get started out. It sounds like, like those stories when people talk about you just threw them in the water and to swim.
Yeah,
it sounds like how you were thrown out there.
It is a little bit,
What would you say for someone who's starting out? How should they? Should they do
that.
The same thing?
Jump in and try to swim, and that's really the best way to do it. You can't really ease yourself into it.
Okay.
Go to open mics, perform, make friends with comedians. When you make friends with comedians, text them jokes, you riff, and that's how you sort of build your name up. Get stuff out online, because a lot of times you can like leapfrog over a lot of stuff if you can get yourself out online and make a name for yourself there. and you can get connected with people all around just by doing that.
Now there's one thing, and that was the thing I had with Preach years ago. He said it's one thing to be the funny uncle at a party,
Right, it's totally different.
versus on stage. How is
Very
that
on
different?
stage.
How's
So
that different?
most comedians that I know, most stand-up comedians are introverts.
Okay.
Right? They were not the class clown when they were little. They were the bullied nerd.
Yeah,
when
I
they
like
were
to
little.
tell people, even I
Yeah,
say the same
absolutely.
thing with performers.
Absolutely, it's
you
very
think Jay-Z's
different.
cool? No,
It's very different. People always assume that you must be like really like me when when I'm not performing. I am somewhat of an introvert, right? Like I'm someone myself. I'm in my head all the time, right? On stage, it's a very different type of thing. It's a totally different. Talking on stage is totally different than talking in person.
Okay.
And so I'm the kind of person who, when I talk to somebody, I just like to think out loud, you know? And that's kind of how I am on stage as well. And so if you are, a lot of people think that like because they're the funny person at the office.
Exactly.
Right? I'm the
They
funny
can
person at the office, right? Then I must be able to go and do stand-up. And they try and they fail.
So what does it
and
take
it's
to get up
hilarious.
there and do stand-up?
Be smart, be a tight joke writer, right? Know how to write jokes, know how to structure jokes, know how to, and these are not things that you need to learn before you start doing comedy. These are things you learn along the way. And there's really no way to explain it to somebody unless they've done it for a while.
Right.
So first thing I tell people, go to an open mic, do comedy, try to do it, and then learn. Right? Then see what you have to do. It's not like anything else where you have to, they don't let you do heart surgery until you learn how to do it.
Yeah,
right? But with comedy, just go up there and do it.
Okay.
Try to make people laugh, try to write jokes, perform. Next night, go back up, perform the same jokes, make them better, write them all over again.
So, I was thinking. So, are you working in these kind of specials or anything like? Is there anything like
some of
like
those
that
are in the
you're working
works.
up to that?
Some of those,
or
yes,
how's
that's the goal. I'd love to release a special in the next year, or at least an album. And 4 years is how long I've been doing it. That's pretty early for like an album. But I'm working on it.
Okay, that's awesome. And along with this, I mean, is this like full time?
Yeah, it's
for
full
you?
time. Absolutely.
Nice. How does that keep your parents up at night? Like, oh my God.
No, they're great.
Yeah.
No, they. I mean, well, it might keep them up at night, but they're up at night anyway. They worry a lot.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. They worry about my other brothers too.
Okay.
But no, I mean, like everything's been going great. I started doing comedy full time in May.
Okay.
And so it's just been since May that I've been doing it full time, and it's been, much better than I ever anticipated.
When I tell people, especially when you talk about music, when you're in the music realm, full-time music doesn't mean full-time I'm on stage. It often has to do with, I know people, they're doing singing lessons, there's writing and different things like that. So for comedy, for you, is it full-time?
For me, I do write a lot.
Okay.
And I've written for different publications and things like that. But as far as making it, it's just from doing shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. And so if we wanted people on our show to get in touch and see more of your stuff, maybe your YouTube channel or anything like that, what do you have?
Yeah, you can search me on YouTube. You can check out my page, Jeremy McLellan Comedy on Facebook, Twitter, Jeremy McLellan, just anything Jeremy McLellan. Make sure you spell it with one C.
One C. All right, so it should be here at some point.
Cool.
The guys
Right at
at the end. And last thing for you. So, are you? Well, two things. One, are you always collecting material? Do you have like a little pad, like everywhere you go?
Yeah.
You're like collecting material all the time.
Yeah. Every conversation I have with somebody, like everything like that all goes into it.
So this bazaar is probably
I've got a lot
packed.
of it's very funny.
That's awesome.
It's very interesting.
I think you can. And another thing for me too, I was also when you're reading a crowd, like is that a part of the thing that you're doing too? Do you switch up your stuff depending on?
You can, If you do several jokes in a row and no one laughs, you have to switch it up, right? You have to be like, and so you have to like sort of a choose your own adventure. Sometimes, depending on the crowd, but most of the time the crowd responds really well. But most of the stuff that you have to do is like beforehand, figure out what kind of crowds are going to be. You have to do your homework, stake out the place.
So for the crowd for the night, what was your homework?
I asked people what the crowd was going to be like, and I think it's going to be great. I mean, it's tons and tons and tons of people. So there's really no way to read. Thousands of people or whatever. So we'll see.
Any stage fright? Like, I think I get 15,000 people out there.
I get tons and tons and tons of stage fright right before I go on, and then once I start talking, it goes away.
Okay. Is there any technique that you just like once you get going?
Yeah, you just hyperventilate, and then
Okay.
you throw up, and you and then
Get that out of your system.
you scream, and then no, I'm just kidding. No, there's really no technique. Just
Okay.
be prepared, and then get out of your head.
Okay.
You know, because like you can get in your head beforehand, and so just I like to be in a quiet place, not talk to anybody, and just think of nothing.
Okay.
And until I go on.
Just get honed and just get
just not even
just get real Zen, Shaolin,
Absolutely,
and just
yeah.
really.
That's right.
I know the feeling, man.
Totally
Just
is.
get in a dim place. Yeah, cool. All right, Jeremy. I really thank you
man.
for being
Of
here
course,
with
of
us.
course.
Good
Glad to
luck
do it.
tonight.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
again, this is home for you. If you ever have anything that once you're going to do that special or what have you, please
Sure.
come back to Dean TV. Our viewers would love to have you.
Cool.
back.
Absolutely, man.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot.
Thanks again, guys. Dean TV, always
Thank you.
on, always live.
This Dean TV video was made possible in part by Islamic Relief USA, working together for a better world, by Guidance Residential, the #1 Islamic home financer in the U.S., and by Recycle Processes Incorporated.